What is up? This is John Samuel, and this is All Access Live. And today we have a very, very special.
And I had to freshen it up so I could rock it again today. Thank you.
No, of course. No, it is a comfy T-shirt, isn't it? So, I'll tell you this: anybody who sends an email over at go over to abler360.com and you put in the info section, go to or send an email to info@abler360.com and you put Larry Long Jr. in the subject, we'll send out an Abler T-shirt to you.
Whoa, okay.
I'll get that done.
I'm talking about Willis.
It is a good T-shirt, though. I mean, I love it. It's comfy. It's perfect. Everyone talks about the T-shirt, so I'd love to get it out there, man. Love to get it out there. But no, dude, thank you so much for taking the time to be here today, because you have been somebody I've been admiring for some time. You and I heard you speak at a tech conference a couple years ago, and you were just you had a way of connecting with the audience, and it just really it connected with me. And afterwards we got to talk, and that's when I just started to really follow you and watch you, and I'm just so thankful for you to be here.
Oh, I appreciate it. And John, I apologize. I was looking down. I wanted to go ahead and promote the live. I just sent it out on my LinkedIn, told people to come and tune in right now, because this conversation is about to heat up. We're about to get this thing on and popping. I got my one gold mic. I know the second gold mic is going to make its way eventually.
I love it. And so Larry, you do a motivational Wednesday midday, like midweek motivational. Kind of, how did you get started on that piece?
Oh, funny story. So I'd been noodling about it, but noodling ain't doing. And I'll be honest with you, I was scared to do it. I was doing first I started doing my first episode was called the midweek motivational minute. I went to the archives and I said, what in the world did I call it? Somewhere along the line, I changed it to the midday. But at first I just started doing videos and posting them. I would record it and then post it. And then I got approved for LinkedIn Live. But funny story, I was noodling on video. I was doing short form content, and a mentor of mine, Morgan J. Ingram in Atlanta. What's up, Morgan? He said, hey, Larry, you got to get on video. He said, you've got the smile for a mile. You got the personality for video. And I said, nah, I'm just going to hide behind just doing short form content. He said, dude, if you don't do it, you're being selfish. And he said, he shared with me that his mentor had told him, Morgan, if you don't do video, he did a video series called the SDR Chronicles on YouTube. He said, my mentor told me that I was being selfish. That's all it took. I said, no one's going to call me selfish, and walk away with it. So that was on a Friday. He was hosting a happy hour. That next Wednesday was my first episode. And I'll be honest, it took me about 18 takes. I was back on my little porch. My son my son was doing the online learning. This was early on in the pandemic. It was like April 20th, 24th of 2020. And my wife came out there and said, hey, baby, I love you, but you got to wrap it up. You keep recording, re-recording. You're saying the same thing. She said, just ship it. So happy wife, happy life. I just shipped it. And now 74 episodes later, it's just amazing.
No doubt. I mean, you have people from all over the world who tune in, and it's amazing. How does that feel to be able to touch so many people?
It's an amazing feeling. It's a blessing. And it's one of those things where I'm now taking the advice that I give other people. I'm now stepping into my superpower of connecting folks, of inspiring folks. And it's really the midday motivational minute has created a community of its own where folks are helping out each other. I just got a text message from one of the Vicky Gurney. She joins almost every Wednesday. Yesterday, she joined with her mother. She said, hey, I'm going to have my mom pop on. I've had other folks who have said, hey, I have my kids listening. So it's just been amazing to have a positive impact on people's lives, give them something positive. In this world, there's just so much negativity. You turn on the news, negative news. They might as well just call it negative news, because there's not much positive going on in the news. So it's been a blessing. I've just been so fortunate, John. So fortunate.
No doubt. Because when I think about what you've been able to do, and that's really what I've been trying to, I want to learn from you and see how we can emulate that, because I think when we think about the disability community and raising awareness for the disability community and disability inclusion, I think there's just, we need to, there needs to be some motivation there. We need to be able to get people, just juiced up and just ready to go out and go after this. So, that's really what I'd like to see. And I'd love to get your thoughts. How do you think a way we can really kind of raise awareness for disability inclusion?
Well, I love what you're doing. You're starting the conversation, and we've got to keep the conversation continuing, because really it's not one person or one organization's responsibility. It's all of our responsibility. I don't know if you know this, John, but I grew up in VA medical centers. My father was the director of recreational therapy. At first, he was a recreational therapist. I went to the Paralympics in 1996 in Atlanta. So I absolutely love the work that you're doing, the passion that comes behind it, and the true care that you have to empower, to enable, to really provide opportunity and level the playing field for everyone. And that you're doing a phenomenal job, but we need more use. Yes. And by having this conversation, what you're doing right now and the work that you continue to do is so important. I think it was, I'm not sure if it was Mother Teresa, but it was something along the lines of, it only takes one person to make great change across the world. So I encourage you to keep doing what you're doing, to keep spreading. Keep your droplets to yourself, but let's keep spreading the word of the importance of inclusivity, the importance of accessibility, the importance for all of us in business, in life, in our personal lives, to make sure that we're aware of and we're taking appropriate action to make sure that we address it.
No, I appreciate that. That means a lot, and it is something. We do need more people out there. We need those force multipliers, and I think that's where you are, right? Your voice, you amplify things, and I'm just so I'm thankful for you to be there and be one of our allies and being able to advocate for us and what we're trying to do in the whole mission. So thank you for that.
It's my privilege and my pleasure, and I want to do more. And this conversation is really, it's the continued. It's not the stop, and it's not the start. We've been talking for a while.
For sure,
we're gonna keep this thing rocking and rolling. Don't stop. Get it.
This week it was nuts to see. You had I think 8 different events this week. How many you got this week?
Who's counting? At the start of the week, I had 4 in-person events, 4 virtual. 2 of the in-person ended up turning virtual.
Oh, okay.
But it has been just an absolute blessing. I've been so fortunate. I mean, just the engagements, the speaking engagements, the coaching engagements, the opportunities to sow into others. It's been great. And I can tell you, that's where I get my energy when I'm able to help someone else out. I mean, I had an engagement yesterday with a group out of Nashville, and just to see the comments of folks saying, hey, when we got done, I was ready to run through a brick wall. One person made a comment and said, I took 5 water breaks to go to the fountain just so I could listen in and eavesdrop. I said, oh, that's what I'm talking about, Willis. And some of y'all are out there saying, who in the heck is this guy he's calling Willis? And what is he talking about? You'll have to Google it. Well, what you talking about, Willis? Google it.
Oh gosh, I mean, that is hilarious. The amount of people who, I think I would be the same person taking those water breaks, come here, listen to you, because you are, And again, I think, does this come from your days playing baseball? Where does this kind of your enthusiasm, your coaching, where does that come from?
Yeah, I'd have to say I get it from my mama and my papa. My dad, my father passed 6 years ago, coming up on 6 years. He was the serious one. But once you got to know him, he was kind-hearted, funny. But my mom, she's wide open. And she's the wild child of the family. I get it from my mama. My dad was more the coach. He grew up in Baltimore City, ran track. That was his ticket out of poverty, out of the projects of Baltimore City. He ran track at University of Maryland. Go Terps. I know you're a Wolfpack. I'm actually talking to the Wolfpack tomorrow. I get to talk to some of the engineering students, which I can't wait. But my dad was that coach. He was like, hey, Larry, little Larry, if there's one thing that I want to teach you, it's that every day that we wake up, it's a blessing. And it's your responsibility to make sure that you're doing something to serve someone else other than yourself. It's not about you, even though that you might look in the mirror and be what do you call it? Self. It's not about you. It's not about self. It's about being selfless and about serving others. And he talked it, he lived it, he acted by it, and that. I'm just blessed to be able to carry that baton forward. I'm working with a coach. I've got a performance coach, and I've set an intention that by 2025, hopefully December 11, 2025, that'll be the 10-year anniversary of my father's passing, I'll be able to break ground on the Shorty Long Academic and Athletic Community Center, probably the first one here in Durham, RTP, eventually expanding to Baltimore City. That was one of his dreams, one of his goals. I'm going to make sure I see that thing through.
Oh, hell yeah. How are you doing this? Like, this is amazing. This is probably the coolest thing I've heard. And, I mean, what's going on? Like, are you planning this right now? Is it actively pursuing this right now?
I finally verbalized it. I've had it in the back of my head for a while, and my coach is phenomenal. Kristen Frady, she's my performance coach. She said, hey, you're going to have success, but what drives you? What really drives you? And what drives me is helping people. And what really drives me is helping youngsters that don't have the same situation. I mean, my father didn't have a 2-parent home. My father didn't have the luxury of just comfort and safety and security. And I've been blessed to have parents that sacrifice so that I could have it. It's my responsibility to make sure that my kids have it, but also all kids have the opportunity for positivity, the opportunity to be able to see role models that look like them, to be able to feel the love, the warmth of role models that want to see them succeed and not be surrounded by violence, not be surrounded by drugs, crime. So that's my mission. And that's what I'm driving towards. It really solidifies the purpose of why I speak. It's crazy, John. When I was in school, when I would speak, I would get in trouble. Larry, go to detention. You talk too much. Now, when I talk, I get paychecks. And we're trying to use those paychecks to eventually build that Shorty Long Academic and Athletic Community Center to really serve the community.
Yeah, I love that you're verbalizing it, because it's going to happen. I think 2025, we're going to be seeing that. And, I'm just so thankful that you're touching the lives of not only the business world, but also the youth, which I think really needs to be hearing your voice.
So important. Hey, John, I just want to give a shout out to Stephen McGrinder. Thank you, Stephen. He said, I love John's energy. It's amazing. I'm laser focused on listening. He said, hey, I certainly love Larry's energy too. So you got fans out there, man. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, Larry, no, thank you for that one. Thank you, Steve. I appreciate that. That's one thing I love about your show, Larry. It's like when you start shouting out everyone, it is awesome. It is awesome. It's just so nice to hear how people all over the world are tuning in to hear you. And I'm just so thankful that you took the time to be here and to share just a little bit of your time, because I know you're a busy person. And but again, how can people hear where you are? How can people follow you? What's the best way?
Yeah, the best way is probably through LinkedIn. I got the Smile for a Mile, Larry Long Jr. My picture has the little gold mic. You'll be like, yup, he's got the face for radio. That's that guy. And then I've got a website. It's easy, LarryLongJr.com. That's LarryLongJR.com. But John, I mean, I'm absolutely honored that you would bring me on to your show. I want to hear, because when you took me on a tour of LCI, oh my goodness, just absolutely amazing. When you shared with me deeper into your story and your journey and your adventure, oh my goodness, it really touched my heart. And I just want to know what's the latest and greatest with you. What you're doing big time things. I'm trying to learn. You better tell somebody what's going on.
Oh, we have a lot going on. It's some good stuff, and I'm so thankful and blessed. And one of the cool things, Steve McGrinder, the label guy. We're working out with E1. I don't know if you see my watch, Larry. Have you seen this bad boy?
I like it. I like it.
Yeah, So we're partnering with E1 and Steve, the label guy, over at Liberty Marketing Solutions. And what we're doing is we are coming up with Drip My Cane 2.0. So I don't know if you heard last year. Do you remember a show back in the day called Pimp My Ride?
Of course. Come on now. Shoot. With Exhibit, of course.
Yes. So I used to love that. And when I started using my cane, I realized that people were just, when they saw the cane, it became this barrier for people to talk to me. And so what I wanted to do is I wanted to pimp my cane. But then what we learned was the kids don't say pimp anymore. So drip is what the word is. So we came up with Drip My Cane. And so last year we had designers from all over the world come up with cool designs for my cane, and we dripped it out. And this year we're doing Drip My Cane 2.0, partnering with E1. And so we're coming up with a cane that's going to use retroreflective material on it so that the cane can be really visible for pedestrians, motorists, and really kind of keep the design of the cane, but also be this cool thing to look at. And E1 has come up with a new watch called the Switch, and they're going to be using that reflective paint on it. So it's cool, dude. And and that came from a video too, because they actually E1 saw me do a video about my watch, and then they reached out, and that's how we got connected. And it's awesome. So
you're dripping all over the cane. I had to call you Big Daddy Kane, and now the watch. I mean, come on, man. Rolex ain't got nothing on you. You said it's called E1?
E1, EONE. You got to check that out. They won like the 2011 or 2012 Design of the Year in London. It is something. It's like a truly inclusive watch. It's designed for people who can see and for people who can't, and it's something special. And I'm just so thankful for them to be part of this. And then I got to give a shout out to our friend Lindsay Reg over at 321 Coffee. She's doing some big stuff, and I'm just so blessed to have her and her team part of my life now. And again at Abler, we're just we're hustling, dude. My boy Mike Ionelli is out there, so reach out to Mike Ionelli, everyone, because he is the one who's keeping this engine going. He's the one who allows me to come out here and be able to talk and share my story, because he's hustling on the back end trying to get that business. So big shout out to my boy Mike. So,
hey, John, I got to tip my cap to you. The work that you're doing, amazing. Every day you're hustling out there, sharing your story, bringing awareness, making sure that people know, and then people know how to react, how to take action to improve. Just phenomenal job. And I mean, you're dripping your cane, dripping your watch. I got a pink bat over here from when I worked at Pendo. I need them to drip my bat.
You need to get your cane. I mean, you have the mic. You have the dripped out mic. So you got it. You're rocking that gold mic, and I'm just so thankful for you. I'm inspired by you, and I know I'm just one of many. So thank you, Larry.
Thank you, John. Oh my goodness. And please let me know what I can do to assist, how I can serve as a resource. And I'm going to keep you in mind for speaking engagements for audiences that need to hear this story.
Thank you so much, Larry. And I'm truly blessed. And thank you so much. And again, we are on every Thursday at 12 noon Eastern. And again, thank you, Larry. And check out the midday motivational with Larry Long Jr. You will not regret it. So thank you again, Larry.
Thank you, John. Take care now.
Take care.
Peace.
Bye.